What is going on, everybody? We are back with another CCW review. I am Nick,
And I'm Joe.
and we are here to talk about uh, the extended warranty on your car insurance. No, we're here to talk about
No.
AEW Dynamite from July 15th. And boy, listen, you and I had kind of different opinions on one thing. I thought the show got better as it went because
Did
I
you say
was,
July 9th or did you say July 16th
I said July
or 15th?
15th.
Okay, I'm just deaf.
Um, no, July 9th is my mom's birthday. That was several days ago.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom. Belated, but
Um, but yeah, so uh, this show for me got like the wrestling got better as the show went on. Listen, I fell asleep during that first match, woke up at the end of the second match and saw how it ended and was like, "Oh man, now I got to rewind it 30 fucking minutes.
I
Start
liked the
over."
first two matches and then the show kind of went off the rails for me.
That is wild that you liked the first match if I'm being honest.
It was very 2000s fucking WWE tag team match.
Dude, I was so bored with this match. But we'll get there. Dynamite earlier today, I guess. The Death Riders are training with Will Ospreay. Mox chases them all off, and he's like, you know, the easy part's done, or the hard part's done. The hard part was getting here. He's like, I mixed that up. He's like, the hard part's done. Now you just got to win. You just got to go into all in, and you got to win. He's like, people lose themselves in the nervousness. They get to shakes and the jitters. Their heart gets to racing. He's like, yeah, just don't hesitate. You got this. And I was like, am I supposed to
Shoot your
like
shot,
Mox, or
no matter who it is.
am I supposed to not like Mox? Because
I don't know what they're doing with this group, dude. One minute they're a babyface faction, the next minute they're a heel faction with the fucking
on
dogs. It makes no fucking sense.
on the same show, and we'll get there, guys.
It makes no fucking sense at all. But yeah, and then they fend off the Don Callis family at the. It's so fucking. It's you're. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. He's just got billions of dollars.
Match one, AEW Tag Championship, Cope and Christian, or I'm sorry, Cage and Cope versus Garcia and Yuta. And
Either way would have worked.
well, I jokingly did that because Cage always puts himself first. So, um,
And that should be the way it is because he is the better worker right now.
definitely right now, and the better talker. He's just better all around right now.
He always has been, but
I
I
didn't.
digress.
I think Edge was the better worker between the two when they were younger, before Edge got all fucked up. Um, ever
I disagree.
since
I've always been a Christian Cage kind of guy.
he moved too slow for me. Like he was. This is where you and I always differ. He was the Matt Hardy of the two.
I like Matt Hardy more than I like Jeff Hardy.
I know. I know. I like quick
He
people. I
can
want to
slam
see.
a tornado.
I want to. I want to. I want to see quickness. I want to see speed. I don't want to see you methodically plot around the unless you're Zack Sabre Jr., who it just works for me for some reason. Um, but no, I couldn't really get into the match. They win with a spear, which I mean, it was a fun little series of events that happened. Um,
Yeah, he kind of Christian vaulted him up in the air and Edge speared him.
well, right before that, he kicked the other one in the nuts, and then
Yeah, they kept going to the turnbuckle for like a distraction. They were trying to tear the turnbuckle off to distract the referee. Christian did it first and got thwarted because he was going to do the low blow then, but got stopped. And then for some reason, the stupid Garcia went to do it, and then it got Yuta kicked in the balls. It was weird, but it works.
right.
I thought it was entertaining, anyways.
Uh, Post match, the dogs and the Death Riders come out to jump the champs. Um, not including Mox in this very
Yeah,
specific
Mox
moment.
wasn't there.
But yeah, they start to jump Bang Bang Gang, and then all of a sudden, uh, what's his face comes out. Um, Switchblade, Jay White. I couldn't remember his fucking name. He comes out,
Well, he
grabs
ain't been there for like 2 years.
grabs the shillelagh, and is about to take out Finley.
Finley.
And Finley dips before he gets hit with his own weapon. And then Christian's in the ring with him, and he's still not quite sure about Switchblade, which, to be fair, I wouldn't be either, because that man also is the Paul White of fucking face
Oh,
and
dude,
heel turns.
I think Christian's reluctance is going to pay off. Jay White as a babyface doesn't make any sense. So
No, never. Like, he's one of those dudes that should just be a lifer fucking heel.
yeah. So I don't think it'll be long. I think Christian's uneasiness will turn out to be true.
Backstage, Andrade says he'll fight the whole Don Callis family and take every single one of their titles if that's what it takes to get to the world title.
I'd like to see that.
Could you imagine him doing his own belt collector gimmick?
How you know?
I actually wouldn't mind it, but it is what it is. And then he has it. I mean, he's already collected the MJF's Dynamite Diamond Ring, so that's a start.
He got that from a really good friend.
That we have no clue who it is. Might be Will Ospreay though. It might be Will
Renee
Ospreay.
name drops him.
Listen, how you know? How you know?
Exactly.
Again, and this is where the whole Will Ospreay with the Death Riders thing starts to get confusing, because he's definitely helping Andrade, who's a face now.
Dude, they're playing fucking jump rope with heel and babyface. They're
Yeah,
like
they
fucking
are.
hopscotching between fucking. It's so fucking disjointed, and I hate it so much. I'm ready for the Death Riders to just be done.
I have a feeling I know what's going to happen, and we'll get there when we get there. Backstage, the Trios champs are waiting for someone to challenge them, and just out of fucking nowhere, actually from like 3 feet away, the Demands show up, and they're like, "Look, we're not going to hurt you. We're not going to attack you." They said, "We're just here to tell you that we want to come for those titles." And then Tonga Leona,
Leona, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He goes to touch Roddy's, and Roddy smacks his hand away.
Roddy's the tough guy.
He's like, "Don't
It's
touch
funny.
my shit."
Right?
He is so much shorter, but he's the one that'll
Roddy
fuck you up.
Roddy's like 5'9", but he's a little fucking Wolverine, man.
Yeah, he is. He'll give him a honey badger. I don't want to connect him with a Wolverine.
Yeah, it's already been tainted, I suppose.
But not but they get done trash talking, and then the Lethal Swirl attack the conglomeration from behind, and that's when Ricochet's like, "Yeah, see, that was we didn't attack you." And but then he hints that like Lethal Swirl could be joining the Demand, and I'm just like, I fucking hope not. We don't need another large faction.
We don't need another fucking giant faction, especially of a bunch of fucking jobbers who ain't did shit.
Yeah, I don't. I'm okay enough with Ricochet being with Gates of Agony, and that being
Yeah,
it.
he slightly elevates them, and that's good.
Yeah.
Attaching Blake Christian and Lee Johnson,
Sure.
does nothing for them. I'm thinking that's his name.
And honestly, Lethal should just be over there building up the fucking younger talent in Ring of Honor, if I'm being honest. I love Lethal, and he's
Agreed.
good. He's good.
I do too. I do too. But I think you're absolutely right. That's his spot right now, and that's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
Helping getting the younger generation over. And not in some weird put together fucking trio that's just riding the coattails of another trio that ain't did shit.
Match 2, Jake Doyle versus Andrade. Now, I do want to point out, I enjoyed this match, but I had a problem with this match.
Oh, do tell.
I feel like Andrade got too much offense.
Oh, no, dude. He sold a lot, too. Dude kept dropping him in fucking weird spots.
Towards the end, yes, but he spent...
The fucking first spot of the fucking match, he dumped him outside on his shoulder. Now that was a lot more Andrade than him, but that was the tail of the match. Dude just kept getting dropped uncomfortably.
Well, listen, that was like the sparse times that Jake Doyle got a move in. I just I feel like Andrade actually owned most of the match until near the end.
I think it's just because the amount of time that Andrade was over felt longer because of how slow Andrade was in between sequences. He needs to pick that shit up a bit.
It
He
could
does a
be.
little too much showboating.
But
Uh,
with that being said, there were some cool moments. Andrade hit a nice little moonsault to the outside late in the match, as he normally does.
yep. Hmm.
Um, Doyle reversed a Hurricane Karana into a really, really sexy sit out powerbomb
Yep.
that I wouldn't want to take because that looked like that fucking hurt.
It
Um,
was pretty flat. It was well executed.
no, it was
It's
definitely
very
well
flat.
executed. But I've heard how many people aren't big fans of taking those power bombs because they apparently hurt, and he's a big guy.
Well, it's hard to not hit the back of your head.
We did get to see another body avalanche that no one else should ever do in wrestling but him because it's a fun move.
Yeah, he crazy. He's really good at him. He's really good. Yeah, took Andrade's ass
he
out with that.
I am so excited for the hopeful, inevitable reunion of Davis and Doyle because I feel like they complement. Like just seeing the stuff that Doyle does complements what Davis does so well, and it's
Because they're
just
they're similar, but they're different, right? They
right.
have different means of doing the same style of match, right?
Well, and they're both good at the small things. Now, I don't think Doyle is as impressive as Davis is at them,
Oh
but
no, 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 no.
Doyle, like
Agreed.
even his punches, dude, it still looks like he's trying to take motherfuckers' heads off.
Yeah, and I think Doyle, once he gets more TV time, because he did unfortunately get hurt right when they were starting to really click.
Right.
So maybe here in like 3 or 4 months, we feel the same way we feel about uh, Mark Davis right now
We could. We
with
could.
him.
That is the hope, I guess. Um, Speaking of which, so Andrade hits a spinning elbow and then the DM for the wind. Wind? Yep. We added a D, folks. You know you like the D. So post match, Davis comes out. Uh Andrade puts
Just
the
stand there and look grumpy.
Andrade puts the dynamite diamond ring on and Davis taunts him on the ramp.
It was weird.
Yeah, that
He was
didn't
just kind of stammering on the ramp, like stomping around like a goof.
it didn't really lead to much.
It did not.
But
It's just like a time filler.
spoilers, I do think he's gonna beat Davis at the pay-per-view.
I think so as well. I think it only makes sense.
Yep.
Which
I'm also
we'll
kind of
have a prediction soon.
personally fantasy booking because I also really want that title off of Davis now because I have other hopeful aspirations for
Other things for Davis to do.
him. Like make the tag titles matter because right now they're stuck on Edge and Christian. And while I do love Edge and Christian,
Well, they're going to be stuck on Edge and Christian through All In. So
yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna get him anytime soon. But it's time to start building these boys up. I'm just saying.
the sad thing is, I think the fucking Bucks are going to win the belts at All In.
You don't say that.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
FTR should be coming back to find a way to get themselves involved again as well.
They will be. They're
'Cause
not quite ready to book towards that yet.
no,
They got to finish up this dumb shit with the dogs.
yeah, they got to wait till a week and a half apparently before All In to start booking the tag division because
Oh, don't
this
say that.
this build for Redemption has been terrible as a whole.
Redemption shouldn't even exist.
No, it shouldn't. I agree. And we'll get to that soon too. Speaking of which, let me put a little note down here at the bottom here because I just uh it's actually only slightly related to what you just said. Anyways, I don't know what that means. Hopefully.
I hope so. It's your note.
In ring segment, Shivani's in the ring. He brings Omega out, and then the Bucks come out because everyone asked for them to come out. And then
Oh, this segment went so fucking long.
The Bucks are proud of Omega, but they're mad that he about something in particular, and they point at the belt. And then I realized, yes, it does look like a piece of shit around Omega's waist. They're right.
He
So
had the triple B still.
they got rid of the Triple B. They brought back the much more objectively beautiful regular AEW
The black
championship.
strap. That's the only thing different is the strap is black.
And it has
And it had
it
it's
has the better side plates. Let's be fair. Actually that's
I
just
do like Kenny side plates.
they did look cool, but I've never, not once until tonight, noticed they have different side plates for different wrestlers. This is the first time
I knew
I
that.
noticed. I don't know. I kind of wish they didn't do that because like that's a WWE thing, and like
It's a belt thing in general now.
it's just I don't know. It's not necessary. Anyways, so Kenny said that if it wasn't for the crowd, he'd have given up a long time ago. And honestly, he doesn't sound near as bad as I expected him to cut one of these kind of promos. I was expecting the whiny Kenny we had gotten for like the last 3 years. But he was like, I would have given up if it weren't for you guys. And he's like, an all in, you're going to get the best version of Kenny Omega ever. And then Will Ospreay comes out. And Will's like, hey, Bucks, can you guys bounce? I want to have a one-on-one conversation with Kenneth. And Will's like, look, it's really good to see you as champ again. And he's like, I thought after you got hit with the weapon, you were done, but you kicked out at 1. And, the best bout machine is back. And he said, before shit hits the fan between us, because he knows it's going to, because you can never build a proper feud without it getting personal to some degree. He's like, I just want you to know, before shit goes down, you've been a hero to me. You're a reason I do what I do. He's like, but I'm locked in, and I'm not happy to be second place. And this is like where a real life Goku versus Vegeta fight's about to happen. And honestly, I really enjoyed all of this up to this point.
There's too much glazing for me.
They're getting it out of the way now because it is going to get dirty. There's going to be some jabs, and it'll be fun to watch it all fucking fall apart. Now, as they go to shake hands, Kevin Knight comes out, and he's like,
and I groaned. I was like, ugh.
He's like, I'm still
They're
owed.
trying too hard to shove this kid down our fucking throat.
He's like, I'm still owed a world title shot, courtesy of Maxwell Jacob Fraudman. And Kenny, I actually liked this line. He said, Kenny is a wrestling god.
Him down.
No, I liked this line. He said, Kenny is a wrestling god.
What's that to a non-believer?
But what's a god to a non-believer? And I was like, that's actually a really solid fucking opening shot.
You know why I didn't like it? Because it doesn't sound like anything this kid would say. It looks like it was some line that somebody gave him to say on TV.
Oh no, not somebody being a wrestler. Kenny's like, yeah,
but you can be a little better at it than that.
Kenny's like, we're not gonna do this. He's like, look, I might give you a shot because I'm a nice guy. He's like, I thought I saw something special in you, Kevin, when you first came in. You were faster than everyone else, you jumped higher than everyone else, and you were hungry. But then you went and aligned yourself with Don Callis. And when I was with Don Callis, no one was proud of the Kenny Omega that won the championship. He was like, you don't need Don. He said, MJF came out here and defended the title week in and week out. The only fraud is you. You're not being who you are. And he says, but if it is going to be Kenny versus Kevin at Redemption, he wants it to be against the Jet, not Don Callis' little lapdog bitch. At this point, this whole thing started to wear on me because I was like, man, this is running for a while.
Yeah, it was very long.
Kevin's like, I disagree with you about one thing. Because he was like, I think you have some goodness in your heart. And then Kevin's like, I disagree with you about one thing. I don't have any goodness in my heart, just greatness. And then he blasted him with the microphone. Listen, he needs to get better. And this honestly is a thing everyone needs to get better with in AEW because none of them have really done it right since I've been watching. No one knows how to hit a really good mic shot.
Not since Punk was there.
None of them. I'm always like, man, that like, no matter who uses it, I'm just like, ugh. Now it's been Kevin Knight the last 2 times, But it's been like that for the last 6 fucking years that I've been. I haven't been watching for 6 years, 4 years, 5 years.
I was about to say you ain't been watching that long.
But yeah, no one's good at a good mic shot. But he hits him with the mic. At that point, Osprey comes to hit him with the hidden blade. He ducks it and dips out of the ring because he realizes he's not going to go 2-on-1 with two of the best wrestlers in the world. But then at that point, Will Ospreay's eyes get wide and he points. It was a great shot. I loved. This is one of the very few things production did right tonight for me. And then you find out Darby was behind him, and Darby takes him the fuck out. And I was like, that was cool. At that point, because things can't just get any less confusing. This is when I messaged you, and I was like, I'm so confused. At that point, more of the Don Callis family come out and start to surround the ring like they're going to come in the ring. And then the Death Riders music hits and the Death Riders come out. And I'm like, so the Death Riders are doing the babyface thing and helping the faces keep the Don Callis. And the only thing I could do to connect the dots to justify all of this in my head is, one, they're protecting their asset, which is Will Ospreay.
And they have beef with Don Callis family.
And they have beef with the Don Callis family. Those are the things that connected it to my brain. But I'm still having a hard time.
It wouldn't be so bad if he didn't jump rope face and heel so much in his booking.
Right. Because I've always been the person up to a certain point that have always believed that, at least for the initial start of the run of the Blackpool Combat Club leading into the Death Riders, I never really saw them as heels. I saw them as just people that do what they needed to do to win, regardless if it was cheat or not cheat, whatever. Like, they didn't really.
They were kind of tweeners.
They were kind of tweeners, but then they took a hard turn towards heel once Mox became champ.
Well, once they booted Bryan Danielson out of the group by fucking suffocating him with a fucking plastic bag.
Yeah. But then they start doing things to get themselves back in face status. Like, the crowds were even cheering for Mox during all of the C2.
Yeah.
And like, they started kind of moving that way, but now they keep jumping rope, and it happens again. And we'll get to that here soon. And I think I know what's going to happen. I do think I know what's going to happen, but we'll get there. Backstage, Jack Perry says last week started chapter 2 of his career. Chapter 1, he got to do a lot. He won 4 championships, wrestled all around the world. But chapter 2 is to try and to become great. He said this Saturday he's going to wrestle an up-and-comer at Collision, which, come to find out, it's Nick Wayne. Maybe he said Nick at some point, but I didn't hear it was Nick Wayne until they talked about it later in the show.
I don't remember him saying anybody's name.
Unfortunately, that is a match I'm just not looking forward to, and it's not even because of Perry. I just don't like Nick Wayne.
I'm not fond of either of them, so this ought to be my own personal hell.
But for my own personal enjoyment, come to find out, it was Luchasaurus directing and doing holding the audio boom mic. I laughed pretty well
with his one damn arm because his other one's in a big sling.
It's been in a sling for fucking months, dude. Like, what is going on? I don't. Is he okay?
He apparently fucked it up pretty bad.
Backstage. Oh, I just read that. Scroll down. Brodito versus Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo. Comoroto.
Aaron Solo. This was pointless.
So this bummed me out. Listen, I am actually, I won't say like a mega fan or anything like that, but I used to watch AEW Dark specifically to catch Nick matches. Because he's actually not he's not a bad big guy.
No, but he looked awful here.
Well, everyone does, because it's just a fucking squash match that does nothing for anybody.
Nobody benefited from this.
Like,
it was all set up a backstage angle after the fact,
which they could have just did.
So stupid. Yes.
Because actually, I liked the angle backstage. I thought it was cool, but they could have just did the angle without the match.
I'm sick of Bandito, dude.
I don't mind Bandito. I like Bandito.
He gets fucking title match after title match after title match and ain't won shit.
Yeah.
He must be doing all of his winning in Ring of Honor.
That's what it does feel like. But I like Bandito.
Well, I don't dislike him as a wrestler, but I just dislike how much they use him for this exact same spot over and over and over again.
Right. Um, Bandito picks up the win, since you never see him win, by splashing both the guys in the ring at the same time. Pins them both at the same time. Did nothing for anybody. It just existed.
Not at all.
But then backstage, Renee was asking Fletcher if he's ready, and he's like, Don't I look ready?" And as he's talking, Brodito started to walk past, and they interrupted the thing, which I thought was funny. And then Bandito took a wanted sign, put it on Fletcher's chest. I was like, "Well, that's funny," and it kind of annoyed him. And I was like, "Well, that's cool." Um, but I don't disagree. I don't like that he's already getting another championship match with someone else for a different title that he didn't actually wrestle to get into
Do
contention
anything to
for.
deserve? Yeah.
But to be fair, nobody's wrestling to do anything to get it to deserve anything in this fucking company, anyways.
Yeah, whose fault's that? The guy with the book.
Well, it's he's booking it like an old like honestly like an old territory. He just throw up title matches, and people watch.
No, there was builds back then.
There was one build. It was always Flair and Dusty. That was pretty much it.
Well, that was for that territory. There was other territories.
Um, speaking of which, random fucking international championship match: Kyle Fletcher versus Commander, which I actually enjoyed the match.
I did too.
Um,
They tried to pick the night up off the mat after it had fallen very, very hard for me, but they tried. It was a good match. I liked the way it ended specifically.
um, there was a cool spot. Okay, so Commander gets a couple decent hope spots throughout the match. He hits a nice hurricanrana off the top rope down to the floor while Kyle was standing. It was actually just really well done.
Yep.
A really cool spot. Listen, where Commander goes to walk the ropes, Fletcher sweeps his legs out and thinks that he caused him to fall to the mat, so he leans against the ropes when he does it. But what happens was Commander falls, his legs hit the ropes, which helps him backflip and land on his feet inside the ring. So Fletcher has no clue he's still there. And he runs and hits the area code move on Fletcher.
To his abdomen.
And then hits a destroyer afterwards. It was just a really good series of spots.
Dude, it was a springboard exploder.
Yeah, from the outside to the inside. It was just really
Yeah.
well done. Fletcher then, shortly thereafter, hit a nasty fucking Mikinochu driver. He has my favorite Mikinochu driver in the history of this fucking move, dude.
Because he just picks them up and throws them.
It's so
It's
loose
not even like
that it looks
it's
like
not
it
even
hurts.
yeah, it's not tight at all. It's
No.
so loose. He's losing control of him by the time he's got him
But
halfway up.
but I think the move benefits look wise from how loose it is. It just looks vicious.
Yeah, because he just flings them.
Fletcher then there's a series of reversals that leads to Fletcher hitting the brainbuster and gets the win.
Oh yeah, and it was awesome. I love finishers off of counters.
Yeah. If you can pull a finisher off of a counter, look, and again, look at all the greats throughout wrestling that have done stuff like that. Austin, Rock, Shawn, fucking honestly, anyone that's probably been a world championship somewhere between the late 90s and early 2000s in WWE.
Randy
WWF.
Orton,
Randy
the
Orton
RKO.
especially. There's a reason RKO out of nowhere became a thing. Like it's you need, if you really want to be explosive, you need to be able to have a finisher that you can break out of nowhere.
Yep.
It's definitely beneficial. Fletcher and Okada, or I'm sorry, post match, Fletcher goes to rip off the Mask of Commander, which for this specific moment, I actually was happy about, because they even had the ring bell going at post match, like trying to get it. Like I felt like they were listening to us again.
Don't worry, it'll last a week, and then you won't see it again for a month.
And I was like, holy shit, they're like trying to break it up, and as far as like the ring bells go and everything's going on. But then Taka came out and he attacked Fletcher.
Uh-oh. And this was messy. They looked like they didn't know what the fuck they were supposed to do.
And then Okada came out and attacked him from behind. And then Fletcher and Okada had a moment where they both go to pick up the international championship, and they look at each other, and I'm like, and they look like they're about to start fighting. And I'm like, this is what we need. look, the more people we can get out of the Don Callis family, and I don't care who it is, we just need less people.
The Don Callis family is going to consist of just RPG Vice and Brian Cage. Everyone else we want to leave.
Right. But they look like they're about to fight, but then Brodita came out and took them out. Which then led well, it didn't lead to anything immediately. Backstage, Kenny is with Renee. I actually liked this segment. Kenny is with Renee, and he's like, "Yeah, I still haven't given up on Kevin." And Darby comes up and he's like, "Dude, you don't understand."
You're an idiot.
He's like, "Talking to this guy is not going to help him. He needs to be physically humbled." and 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 Kenny is like, "Well, take care of it." And he's like, "I am next week. I'm gonna physically humble this guy." And he walked off. He's like, "Yeah, you just don't understand." Like, it was actually one of the few times I was like, Darby, I loved. I was like, "Holy shit!" He just wants to beat this man's ass.
He said I'm going to take his title and humble him.
And then Mox out of fucking nowhere walks up and he's like, he's right. And he's like, and people are who they are. They can't pretend to be something else, even if they try. And I feel like this is the hint that tells us, and this is what I've been waiting to talk about for this entire thing, as far as everything going on with all of them. This is
And Mox is going to be a shady bitch.
I think he's gonna jump Osprey when Osprey wins.
I agree.
But here's the thing. I don't think it's gonna work because I think Osprey's gonna get the jump on him first. Because I still don't think Osprey's sold on the whole Death Rider thing. I still think he's playing him.
I would love for the babyface not to be an idiot here. But I don't believe that bookers are capable of booking baby faces to be smart.
I mean, and that could be true, but I feel like there's a chance because this whole thing is still also needs to be as much as I hate saying this will play back into what we talk about later. Redemption for Will Ospreay in the long run. He needs to get back at Mox.
Sure. They took him out. Cost him months of his career, allegedly, even though his neck was already fucked.
Originally, I thought it was going to be he was going to get in with the Death Riders and start planting seeds to make them all doubt Mox and then kind of like build it up to where they just aren't a group anymore. But now I just think it's going to be he's going to corner Mox in some way. I just don't
The
know
crazy
how
thing is, he's gonna have to fight all of them off. It's just gonna be like last summer when he was doing that anyways.
Right. For some fucking reason, Renee decides she's gonna bring the birds out on the ramp, and
I listened to like 30 seconds of this and then I fast forward the rest of it. I couldn't do it.
The entire thing is just them talking about drinking, fighting, and them being sad about England losing in the World Cup. And I'm like,
yeah, it was pointless.
Why does this exist? Just to remind us that currently two of the most uninspired women on the roster are still here.
Apparently so. Hey, one of them's the future world champion's wife, man. She's got to get her screen time.
And the other one is somebody who still can't figure out who they are because they lost that plot a while ago for some reason.
She lost it with the fucking injury, man.
And the bad thing is she's not terrible in the ring. Until she starts kissing her fucking arm, and then I want to punch her in the face. I do not promote men hitting women, by the way. I'm just saying, fucking, she needs to figure this
figuratively, not
figuratively.
Literally.
Stop kissing your arm. It's stupid. It's stupid. I shouldn't be able to have a bet on the side on over unders how many times it's going to happen in a fucking match. Okay,
and we do it almost every match they're in now.
She comes out. She's like fucking bushwhackers. And it makes me angry.
Luke and Butch.
Anyways, match number 5. Oh no, I'm sorry. I tried to skip over this too. I hated this segment. Backstage, Jericho wants another match with Ciampa. Now, what's funny
I
is,
hated this so much.
listen, I love this crowd because they were booing the shit out of this, and I loved it. I was like,
Oh,
thank
the
you.
crowd was the crowd and the venue. The venue was packed.
Yeah.
They showed all the sides. Normally, where they have the hard cam, was filled up with people too. It was a really good crowd and a really nice venue.
Yeah, it was. Uh, now, once he revealed the Painmaker paint, the crowd did cheer a little bit. But they were
Why, I don't
booing
know.
all the way up to that point. Because they're like, we don't want this again. And then as soon as Ciampa came on screen, that crowd fucking roared.
He's from the area, so
Yeah, it's his hometown. Now, he did say that at Redemption, they'll find out who's better. So challenge accepted. And on Collision, he'll wrestle anyone that wants to come get some. So we'll see who he ends up facing.
so we'll at least get to see a decent Champa match, hopefully.
I doubt it. It's going to be some local talent.
Yeah, it's gonna be a squash, probably. You're probably right.
Match 5,
Still, we'll get to see Champa at least.
Darby Allin versus Brian Cage.
This was just your basic big man throw the little man around for most
Well,
of the match.
specifically big man throwing Darby around, because it's a whole different thing when it's Darby. Everyone else, like, yeah, there's big men throwing little men around, but then there's Darby, who doesn't mind almost dying every single fucking match he's in.
That just means big man throw little man around on the outside of the ring onto very hard surfaces.
Correct. Now, one of my favorite spots that happens every time Darby wrestles somebody 15 times his size.
The pole spot.
No, the match starts with him going to dive out through the ropes, and he just bounces the fuck off of Cage. Cage doesn't move. He hit a wall.
He's three times Darby's size.
He hit a wall, and that wall has the name of Cage, who has the worst theme song in wrestling. Look, as much as I personally love Brian Cage, his theme song sucks.
I like Brian Cage as like an aesthetic and what he could be, but he's somebody you look at and you're like, oh, he looks like he could be like really good and have like all the tools, and then you see his work, and then it's just like, oh, maybe not so much.
He just wrestles a standard strongman style. He does silly things like suplexing him while standing him on the ropes and silly shit like that.
Until he tries to wrestle people his own size, and then he tries to fucking act like a lucha libre.
Yeah, that needs to go away, whatever that is. You can still be a big man against other big men. You just have to find a different way to be a big man. Cage did his thing that I love, where he walks people up steel steps while having them in a suplex, and then dropped him right on the fucking ramp. While on the ramp, he press tosses Darby off of the ramp into the turnbuckle.
Yeah, the turnbuckle pole.
Yeah, which caused him to helicopter onto the floor.
Yeah,
that was fun. Eventually, Cage ends up on the steel steps. Darby had taken his belt off and trips him up with the belt, and then Coffin drops him onto the steel steps. He goes inside the ring, and as Brian goes to slide into the ring to beat the 10 count, Darby hits a couple of quick Coffin drops, which I love when Darby wins like this, because it's a smart face tactic with his move being what it is.
Yeah, well, they have to crawl into the ropes, so they're going to be close to the ground. I can just hit them while they're on the ground, and then just keep hitting them over and over and getting. Yeah, it's smart.
It makes you wonder why people like Jeff never did it with his swanton. Like, I don't know. Watching Darby do this, and I'm not saying no one else ever has done it, but I don't recall somebody using it as a tactic often.
I was about to say it's because consistency.
But yeah, no, he slid into the ring, he ate a couple of Coffin drops, and that was that.
Yep.
Backstage, Proto Kata are there. Fletcher's like, I'm not afraid of anyone, and I'll be the greatest international champion of all time. At which point, Okada just looked at him like he was stupid. from
Yeah,
behind.
he did.
He was like, "No, the fuck you ain't. I'm the best. I held it for 2 years. What you gonna do about it?" Anyways, uh, actually, he didn't hold the international champion that long. It was the Continental that he held the longest out of the two. But we're just splitting hairs. Um,
And he still held it for about a year because he beat Omega for it when he unified him.
yep. And he's like, for once, I want to face Bandito for the title at Redemption. And Okada looked annoyed for pretty much the rest of it. Backstage, Don Callis finally showed up to work, and he basically talked shit about Kenny's mind games, and then walked off. At which point, Mike Bailey shows up to Kevin, and he's like, "I hope you know that I love you and the fans love you, and we'd be willing to forgive you." At which point, Kevin's like, "Dude, just let me be. Leave me alone." Which
Kevin
was
Knight's acting is fucking terrible.
actually, this is one of the better things he's done all night. I actually loved the "just let me be" thing. The whole flexing and shit on the side while Don Callis was talking, though, I could do without. That's stupid.
His shit in the ring earlier that night was awful.
Match
His
6.
conflicted face looked like he was constipated.
Right. Match 6. By the way, I don't have a match of the night because I don't think there were any great matches. So there's that. Match
I don't
6.
disagree.
Divine Dominion and Monet versus Hyan and Maya World and Willow Nightingale. Which, by the way, I actually liked the match. Unless Hyan
Fine.
was in the ring.
They did a lot of moves.
Yeah, they did. And
There was a lot of moves in this match.
I messaged you about this, and then it was something that I was thinking about. I actually probably never realized Maya's potential because when her and Hyan tag, I feel like Hyan ends up in the ring more, and I don't think Hyan's that great. Um, and I noticed it during this match where honestly everyone looked perfectly fine except for Hyan. For me, like there's this point where they do the spot where Willow and Maya do their flips off of the apron onto people on the outside of the ring, and Hyan
The little
dives.
cannonball rolls.
Yeah, and Hyan dives through the ropes to take out another person. And Hyan's dive just looked so sloppy to me, like not in a my feet got clipped on the rope type of thing.
Not in an EO Sky, I'm diving
Not
for the floor kind of way.
Yeah, not in a she tried to kill herself kind of way. But it just looked I don't know how to explain, like you have to watch it to understand. It
It's
looks
the most uninspired dive
it just
ever.
yeah, it looked like she just kind of flopped to the outside, like there was no oomph behind it, right?
Oh shit.
It's I don't know. Um but listen, Willow hit a super nasty ass spine buster on Megan.
Yeah, she did.
I love Willow's spine buster. What I do not love is Willow's pounce.
No, please stop. Please.
And
Everyone
this
who does the pounce, stop. Unless you're Keith Lee, knock it the fuck off.
the problem is, especially with this one, the pounce is one of those things you really you either need to be able to have honestly it's a timing thing. It's absolutely a timing thing. And Keith knew when he had to speed up to nail it to make it look good. Whereas in this case, Bane actually had to slow down because they were so far over on the ring, they weren't in the middle. And Willow wasn't moving fast enough to meet her where she needed to meet her at the time that she needed to time it. So,
The other
like,
thing is, Keith Lee is so big and strong. You were just gonna go when he was ready, anyways.
also true. Listen, to this day, one of my favorite visuals of all time was watching this man pounce Adam Cole over a barricade into the crowd.
3 to 4 rows deep into the NXT audience. Dude is in camera shot, and then he just suddenly is not in camera shot anymore.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic moment on NXT. That I did actually ever watch the match for. I just saw the clips, and I was like, that's amazing. Sadly, apparently, speaking of Keith Lee,
He's done.
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's rumored that he's retired. It's not been outright stated, but Dave Meltzer seems to
Yeah.
believe that from everything he's heard, he's pretty much just retired at this point. But
Yeah. Which is
also,
sad.
apparently, him and Michin got divorced last year, and it just now got confirmed by Michin.
Yep.
So, sad days. Sad days. Anyways,
Yeah.
um, Mercedes wins with the moneymaker, which is another move I fucking hate.
Hey, at least O-Girl took it well.
Yeah, Hyan, she took it well.
Was it Hyan that lost?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was her or Maya.
And that was the end of Dynamite. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and this is why I laughed earlier when I talked about Redemption. If there's one thing I hate, and I'm growing a bigger hatred with it for every fucking year that I watch wrestling. I was never a big fan of it when I was younger, but with the way promos were done when I was younger, when we were younger, I guess, there was a lot more freelance for people to do what they want with their promos back then, until Vince basically started fully scripting everything.
Yeah, when he hired a writing team.
I am so tired of whatever pay-per-view is coming up being used as a talking point. Here's what I mean by that. Not obviously you got to talk about the pay-per-view. That's not what I'm saying.
Right, because you're trying to sell it.
But I am so tired of hearing sentences like "I'm gonna have my redemption." I don't need that.
At redemption.
No, they don't say at redemption. It's just I'm
I
gonna
know.
get my redemption. I don't need that. Just like WWE, I'm gonna show you no mercy. And then no, stop it. Fucking quit it. It's gonna be your judgment day. I hate it. I've always fucking hated it. I don't
Oh man.
listen. But if I have to suffer through that, so we don't get pay-per-views or PLEs named after match types, I guess I'll fucking suffer. The only exception is the Royal Rumble. Um, yeah, no, I
Yeah,
just
the Royal Rumble is by far it's the best gimmick match there is.
it
Period.
is absolutely. Listen, as much as both the Royal Rumbles kind of sucked that we went to, that we watched in person, I am still so much more happier that we got to have that experience over never getting that opportunity.
True. The women's one wasn't bad. We got Charlotte. Charlotte, despite the Charlotte
the
wins LOL thing,
I don't
Charlotte is an excellent performer.
I don't even mean outcomes when I say that. The Royal Rumble in the last 5 years has become so bland as a whole.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because when we were younger, you had your 10 or so people that could possibly win it, that were in it.
Surprises. And old legends come back and surprises and
Yeah,
returns and
but now there's 3 brands, and each brand has to have 5 to 10 people in it, which takes up pretty much everything.
they give you every participant before the fucking match is even there.
Yeah.
So you
So
know exactly what to expect. It's bullshit.
it's just not as entertaining. Half the fun of the Royal Rumble was being like, "Oh my god, like
Who's
listen,
gonna be the next person?
to this day, the biggest pop I have ever personally had in any Royal Rumble ever was AJ Styles showing up."
That was a big year. It wasn't even just him. There was
That
several.
was I am relatively sure that's the last Royal Rumble you and I watched together. I think that's the last time I came over for the Royal Rumble. And
Probably.
I remember legit jumping up out of off the fucking couch in excitement because I was like, "Oh my god!" It was so cool. And I love
It's
AJ
like, oh
Styles.
my god, they went and raided New Japan for all these people.
Right. Um,
Because that's the year they got AJ, Shinsuke, the Good Brothers, at least all those guys.
but yeah, aside from first and foremost, Redemption doesn't need to exist. But I'm also just tired of like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Will Ospreay at some point is gonna say, I'm going all in, bruv. And I'm going to be like, I fucking hate you. For
Uh,
this moment, I fucking hate you. Um,
Another 6 hours that Tony Khan's gonna fucking make me watch to keep me up really late.
Poof, this one's going to be 8. What you talking about?
Bro, don't say that.
They're going to have to start doing.
I don't even mind the length of the show, because the show goes pretty fast. It's usually a good time.
I do wish they would start it earlier.
Started
Um,
earlier.
although I don't know what that changes for me. Because you know what? Regardless if it started earlier or late, I work nights, so it doesn't matter for me.
Yes, but we can move on and do other things.
Yeah, but you could do other things
And we're
before.
not still.
It's
Yeah,
just time management.
I'm usually spending time with I got other shit to do, dude.
I do too.
Well, a Sunday night you're working, so you're going to be doing
I'm actually
stuff
able.
as you do that.
No, no.
Sunday night is my off day. I'm trying to do other things and watch that.
Sundays, I usually work before. So Sunday works out. It's the only day of my job I can do it any time during the day because I'm just using the files from
Yeah,
Friday
you're
night.
prepping it for Monday.
Well, I'm just using the files that came Friday night because they don't release files on Saturday night or Sunday night.
Okay.
So I use the files from Friday night. So I'm able to start it at any time. Honestly, I could do them Saturday if I really wanted to. I don't, but I could. So Sundays, I usually wake up around noon or 1, especially on pay per view days, and I just knock my work out. And then I game for a couple hours or spend time with Cat or eat or whatever I do. Um, and then I watch the show. Although last pay per view, I actually finished my work about 10 minutes before the show started. So I kind of got a late start and almost bled into my enjoyment. But yeah, no, that's Dynamite, folks.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, we started to ramble.
yeah, Collision.
Saturday, despite there being a Saturday night's main event.
It's Saturday, and you know what? That's fine for me. I don't watch WWE anymore anyway, so
Reach.
I ain't got to worry about that. Um, we'll see you guys Saturday for Collision. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next time. Deuces.
Later.